Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, power recapper, host of Bachelor Nation News. Good to see you guys. This will be our last video of the day. Third on this channel. We've got one on the Dave Neal Show. Go check it out afterwards. Nice little video about a scandal brewing within the Hillsong Church. It's a docuseries that releases today. And you can go check that out. All right, but in this video, it's a little bit of a good news video. We've got Michelle Young, and she's talking about will she be influencing? Will she be peddling products? Will she? She doesn't say whether or not she will continue teaching, but I believe the writing is on the wall, and I don't blame her one bit. We'll talk about what she's probably making as host. And, let's listen to Michelle influencer explain what this is all about. Here we go. Sometime today.
I've received a lot of questions lately about whether or not I will be taking part in the influencing side of having a following on social media. So here are my promoter promises to you all. Number 1, I will not promote a product unless I've used it, genuinely like it, and think it has benefits.
Maddie
So that means that if I'm promoting it...
What does it mean? Don't do the old Tennessee bird walk to me right now. Come on. We're having buffering problems today, folks. You buy a $5,000 computer. I basically have to kind of push my car down a hill because that doesn't work. Can I just get an Instagram?
Because it's a product.
Woo, boy. Now we have that question, Dave. Do we restart the whole thing or do we let it pinwheel? Sometimes the best content comes out of the pinwheel. Listen, it's a thirsty Thursday. Do me a favor. Take an extra swig of your margarita while we wait for this. Essentially what Michelle Young is doing here, if anyone can jabberjaw, it's me. What Michelle Young is doing here is just knowing she's going to get some hate from people because they believed in her because she had
that I do believe in.
Above the books job.
And number 2, my favorite part. Coming into this world of social media, I have said that I want to make sure that I do good with the platform that I have. So, to stand by my word, every single month
You're what, Michelle?
Donating a percentage of my influencer earnings. So at this time in April, I will be presenting a check or making a donation to an organization.
Not bad.
You can't handle the truth.
I'll handle that all day. Yeah, when you break down the pickled parts, you got a really good situation here.
Help me choose.
All right, so she's asking people to help her choose sort of donations she can do. All right, so we get all that. She's going to nominate different nonprofits. Look, we get it. You're great. We love Michelle Young. But this begs the question. So she's probably catching heat. No, it's nice of her to want to donate, but she's probably catching a lot of heat about the money that she's going to be making.
The exciting part of all this is that every single month, a different organization, charity, or cause is going to be chosen. And so it's super important that you send in your nominations and that you also vote.
Okay, so every month my social media supporters will help select a charity. This is great. Listen, a cynical person, a Nick, if you will. Don't be a Nick. A cynical person. Listen here, angels. Don't be cynical. But a cynical person might say, oh, she's just going to write it off. Yeah, of course. There's tax write-offs. Absolutely. She's going to donate money. She's going to get a tax write-off. Absolutely. But other people don't like the money that Michelle has received. And you can't look far to think that it's got something to do with the fact that people like to control other people's money, especially when they look a certain way. This is what manipulative and sometimes racist people do. They go, oh, we gave you all that money. You're going to use it for this now? We wanted you to be a teacher. I've read comments from people. They're berserk. So here's what people were upset that Michelle and Nate got a bonus in the first place. You just can't please everybody. Some people are enraged that Michelle and Nate received a $200,000 bonus. This is 13 weeks ago. After their finale of The Bachelorette. This person wrote, they shouldn't give Michelle the $200K. She should donate it to charity. There's people that could actually use that money. Listen there, Deborah. Michelle is it's a hard D, Deborah. You can use the money. On behalf of all teachers, they don't get paid enough. So rather than signing these $1 trillion blank checks for defense contractors, maybe we invest more in our teachers. But let's not get mad that the producers gave her a bonus. Some people were saying, oh, it's a bribe so that they'll stay together. Just be happy they got a bonus. Maybe you're bitter you didn't get one. Either way, I got the full story on my YouTube. Go check it out. Yikes. Boy, December Dave was coming in hot. All right, well, we'll read a couple comments from some of you guys. Now Michelle says, hey, look, if I'm going to make some money, I'm not going to do it in a way that pretty much, is against all my core beliefs, which would be promoting Shein, a company that, has child, traffic violations and, all those issues, of course. Becca did the same thing. Michelle's saying, hey, I'm not going to do that. And, we'll make sure. We'll see what she ends up promoting. But good for her. Michelle and Becca Kufrin now host a Bachelor-themed podcast together. We've discussed, and thanks to our friend Brittany in the comment section of the Patreon, we're recording this live. And if you're wondering why I have said some of the words that I said, it's because we asked for suggestions to improvise into our content here on the Patreon. So we like to, this is four-dimensional recapping that's going on here. Not to out any of our friends over there, but it's a Thirsty Thursday, and I want a Tennessee bird walk all the way back to the happy hour if I have to. So the hell was I talking about? So yeah, there's been questions about Michelle's integrity, and like I've said, I've talked about late stage capitalism all the time. Some people go, what is late stage capitalism? And the way I talk about it, it's that eventually one person wins Monopoly, right? Eventually everyone's playing Monopoly, and then one guy acquires this, and next thing you know, he's the landlord of the whole town. You got no money for the waterworks. You're in jail. You don't even get the $200. We're all effed, right? We're all effed. And that's the idea. The idea being that working for a corporation can only work so long as it's beneficial to the corporation. As soon as they don't need you, goodbye. Long gone are the days of working for Ford your whole life. I'm a company man. I stick with no. Doesn't exist anymore. Companies have proven that they don't have any of the best interest of their employees, and they just work for their shareholders, which means, cutting costs and cutting corners. Subway bread, they can't even call it bread in Ireland because the chemical formula for bread doesn't even exist in whatever focaccia product that they have. And then we're, of course, sold to the highest bidder. Corn syrup replaces sugar. We're one of the fattest countries in the world because we have food deserts and we don't properly can't afford healthy food. All these are examples of us just getting the short end of the stick. So when you look at someone like Michelle Young, you go, look, what's she getting paid in Minnesota? $40,000, $50,000, high-end $60,000 versus some jabroni who can run his own Instagram or YouTube account can make 5 times that. Some of these people making 10 times what a teacher is making. And you go, well, but teachers are the bedrock of society. Well, money talks. So if we're going to spend more on our defense funding than we are on the teachers that shape the world, what does that say about our youth growing up, right? And whether she makes $40,000 or $50,000, but the benefits are good. We know someone in the comments section, right? God bless them, said, hey, yeah, being a teacher doesn't pay that much, but the pension that you get after 30 years, 30 years! Can you imagine going to your job for 30 years, watching Timmy just fling boogers into the ceiling, and you're like, but one day, I'm going to get paid. Get the hell out of here. So now, she gets to do a podcast, right? Because her and Nate did the old Tennessee Tango. Bird walked out of the fantasy suite, right? So because of that, she's got a big following because she's a great person. She's been curated and handpicked from their database. Their binders full of women, some disgruntled, and she's able to show that she's got a good message to share. And because of that, she's built an equity, a following, a newsletter, where she's able to promote products, and she's worth something because she has that following. And that's the post-capitalistic world that we live in. Is how can you reach an audience and how can you get paid to do so? Could she still be a teacher and host a podcast? Yeah, I believe she could. But could she also come upon a once in a generational wealth in the next year or two if she dedicates her time to working with products she believes in, going the route of like Rachel Lindsay, she promotes Lexus. You've got Tasha, who's working with huge fashion companies and PPP loans. You've got people out there, I'm trying to think on the men's side, Blake Horstman. Blake Horstman is one of the greatest examples of somebody who uses his own following to put butts into seats standing for his DJ shows. That's how you use your following to monetize. So, yeah, she could work the next 30 years as a teacher with Timmy's boogers being flinged into the ceiling, and she can scrape them down with some sort of, spatula at the end of the season, and have to, go to a GoFundMe to buy watercolors so that Tracy can, paint, and she can do all of that. But she's also not bigger than the system. So does she save the system from the inside out, or does she become an influencer and use her platform to talk about bigger things, maybe becoming to the size where she can actually influence policy that gets teachers paid more and gets classrooms funded more? So I will be the last person out there that ever accuses her of being and doing things for the wrong reasons if she follows the money. You take care of you, Michelle Young. Absolutely. And ethically promote products that you believe in. And that's all we can do. So as we say about the fantasy suites, and as we say about life, if the beds are rocking, don't come a knocking, and that'll do it for this video. I think we've said everything we could say about it. Let me know what you guys think. Be kind in the comment section. And lastly, will she quit teaching? I believe so. I believe this spring she's going to see what her worth actually is, and she's going to see that it's about 25 times what she can do teaching for maybe a quarter of the hours. And as much as she loves Timmy and his boogers being flung onto the ceiling, she might like it a little bit more to travel the world with the love of her life as she shares that journey with all of us. Let me know what you guys think. I'm done for the day. We have a video over at Dave Neal Show. You can go check it out right now. Bye, everybody.